I sat by my son's hospital bed, the steady hum of machines weaving through the heavy silence. When the doctor told me he might never wake, I didn't cry. It wasn't strength holding me together. It was a sharp, frozen grief lodged deep in my chest, numbing every part of me. His mother, my wife, turned and walked away without a glance back, her footsteps clicking down the sterile hallway, each echo sealing the loneliness that suddenly engulfed me. In that moment, the brutal truth hit me. I was utterly alone in this battle for Ethan's life. The monitors beeped steadily, their rhythm a cruel reminder of life hanging by a thread. I reached out, trembling, and took his cold, motionless hand. Something slipped from his fingers, falling to the floor with a soft clatter, a small, worn key tied to a folded piece of paper. The handwriting was shaky but unmistakably his. "Dad, this unlocks what's hidden." Clutching the key like a lifeline, I sat by his side for hours, turning it over again and again, as if the simple metal could somehow pull him back from the edge of darkness. But as the silence deepened, a gnawing suspicion crept in. If he'd written this before the crash, then he must have known something dangerous enough to leave him like this. 6 months earlier, life had seemed solid. My company, built from nothing, was finally finding its footing, not extravagantly, but steadily enough to secure our future. I'd poured every waking hour into it, often missing dinners, late-night talks, and moments with my family. My wife used to joke that the business was my other child. I never argued, but lately her warmth had faded. Smiles grew stiff and rehearsed, replaced by vague excuses and furtive glances at her phone. She stopped asking about my work. The connection between us was fraying. Our son, Ethan, quiet, watchful, noticed too. His keen eyes caught details I missed. One night, she came home late, claiming she'd been out with friends. Ethan watched her, his gaze sharp and unsettled, as if he was piecing together a puzzle he didn't want to complete. He said nothing, but his silence carried a weight far heavier than words. The key led me to a locker at the downtown train station, a rusty, neglected metal box that smelled of stale air and forgotten secrets. Inside, I found a flash drive, a burner phone, and another note from Ethan, his handwriting shaky but urgent. "Dad, I think Mom's betraying you. I followed her. She's with someone from your company. I recorded it. I didn't want to believe it, but I had to protect you." My breath caught. My heart felt like a stone sinking deep in my chest. I sat in my car for hours, the flash drive burning a hole in my lap, until finally I summoned the courage to look inside. The truth poured out like a flood: videos, photos, audio recordings. My wife and my operations manager entangled in hotel rooms, plotting behind my back to divide the company's assets, plan a divorce, and push me out of the very business I had built from the ground up. This was no mere affair. It was a calculated betrayal designed to dismantle everything I held dear. Ethan, my quiet son, had seen it all. Somehow, they realized he knew. 2 days after his last recording, his car was struck in a violent crash. The police called it a random accident. I knew better. It was no accident. I never confronted her. Instead, I wore the mask of the devoted husband, kissing her cheek, hiding the storm raging inside me. She believed she had fooled me. She pushed harder, urging me to sell the company, talking about new chapters and fresh starts. Her intentions were clear. She wanted the money, the chance to run away with him. But I moved quietly and carefully. First, I transferred my shares into a trust under Ethan's name, untouchable, secure. Then I hired a new financial officer, someone I trusted implicitly. We fed false data to my operations manager, making him believe the company was failing. They took the bait, their greed blinding them. I leaked fake email chains hinting at bankruptcy, watching them scramble to seize control. They sold proprietary information to competitors, funneling the profits into offshore accounts. I tracked every move, every transaction, letting them build their own cage. The audit was my final strike. I timed it perfectly, sending an anonymous tip the very day they planned to escape. Customs stopped them at the airport. Charges of wire fraud, corporate espionage, and insider trading slammed down like a hammer. Their signatures were on every damning document. Mine were nowhere to be found. When the agents handcuffed her, she didn't scream or cry. She only stared at me, eyes searching mine, as her entire scheme unraveled before her. I didn't gloat. I handed her the flash drive Ethan had left behind and whispered, "You left him in that hospital room. That's when you lost everything." I didn't bring my son back, but justice, cold, unyielding justice, had been served. Weeks later, I sat by Ethan's bed again. His finger twitched, a reflex the doctor said, but I saw something more, a spark in his eyes, a flicker of life. It was as if he knew the truth had won. Now, I spend every night by his side, reading aloud, waiting. The company is mine again, her name erased from every record, every trace. Ethan's trust holds our future. His silence saved me, and my silence unraveled them. I wait for his eyes to open, for his voice to break the stillness. When that moment comes, I will tell him he was a true hero,